Hey, what's up, guys? Oh man, it's Battle Blood has been in my sketchbook ever since high school when I was like 16. I'm like 34 right now, but yeah, I'm ever since I was 16, it's been my sketchbook. So majority of the characters are not like how they are right now. So when I was finished with high school, I just started doing character development and neating up the design of the characters and all that, and started doing writing my first story. So it took some time, but when I was like 20, that's when I decided to put it out there with the help of a mentor who helped me start learning how to do comics. I met him through my uncle, who's also loved to do comics. It's like a whole family. Like my uncle and my older brother, we both do comic books together. And yeah, my brother he's doing his stuff, and I'm doing mine. So my uncle he's in Nevada right now, and he's doing his stuff. So yeah, it's really cool right now. So that's why I met him, because he was my uncle's help. My mentor was helping my uncle do their comics together, and then it just trickled down to me and my brother. So he was teaching me how to do storyboards and all that before I can get to my book. Yeah, and man, he really did drill me, which was good because when I first met him and I showed him some of my sketch work. Oh, his name is Michael McLean, by the way. Um, when I first met him, he just gave me this big old thick black sketchbook, and and then he gave me Victoria's Secret magazine, and he was like, "Hey, draw some of these women, then come back to me later." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I filled up that whole book, whether it was good or bad, and he just like, "Hey, okay, well, you can definitely do some work, so yeah, get at it." Yeah, drawing women, because he made a point like, "Hey, your women, they're not so good, so I need you to get together on that." And he was right, because hey, even now, I gotten better, but I'm getting much better now with it. Mhm. Hey, oh, okay, cool. Um, when I was coming up with the story of Battle Blood, it was at first it was just a mixture of things, because I love anime and I love video games like Street Fighter and King of Fighters. They were like my top two fighting video games, and plus I was watching anime like Fist of the North Star. Then later on, it came the first Street Fighter anime movie, then Dragon Ball. It was a Ninja Scrolls. It was like a I was in that '90s feel of all anime just coming my way, and oh, dude, I found a way. It's like it's like when I first was watching Fist of North Star, I was actually watching it on a channel that it would pause, have a clear view, then it go back to the squiggly lines, but you can hear them you can hear them fighting and stuff like that. It's like yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm. Oh yes, it was. Um, when I had started doing like anime characters, I would record episodes of Dragon Ball, and I would just from VHS, I would pause the tape and draw and quickly draw the characters, how they're positioned, how they're posed, and all that real quick because a VHS doesn't stay paused for long. It'll. Oh yeah, and I had this one guy in my high school. He actually stole my sketchbook, and he and he out of my locker, and he was going around showing everybody like, "Oh yeah, I did this. I'm this." And I had walked up to him. I'm like, that's mine, right? Because your name isn't Ryan. Like, oh. He just handed it back to me and started laughing and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, yeah. But it was fun times because we all challenged each other who could do the best Dragon Ball character and whatever anime was hot that time. But after a while, I kind of got tired of doing that because I wanted to create my own, and that's when Battle Blood came in. They were a comic like they came out in about early 2008 by very first book because at that time I was like very slow doing a whole book and I was only doing like 18 pages of the first comic. But after a while I just started doing I did the second issue toward the end of 2008, when 2009. But that's when I started going to school. So because I was in school, things kind of slowed down. But I was still doing my pages in between time. And my mentor, he was like, "Hey, just so long as you're working, I mean, this is your stuff. You know, you have to make your own deadlines and all that." And it didn't became apparent to me until like much later when I started doing issue 3 of Battle Blood, and he's like, "Okay, you're very slow at doing pages, but the speed would speak up. Would I mean not speak up, but speed up during the summer only because I wasn't in school. Yeah, that's why. And I would just push him out. But now I'm a lot more faster because I wasn't so confident with my laying out pages because I tried to be all tight and neat and stuff. But now I'm starting to be a lot more loose-handed with my sketching, my layouts, and just so long as I get all the information in there, I just erase the lines and then I ink over it on the board. Oh yeah, you lay out. Oh yeah, layouts for me, it's not too hard because it's like I got so much in my head. So therefore I have to like just get it out there as much as I can. And sometimes even in my layouts, it won't the idea won't stay. I might end up changing it again within when I'm putting it on the main paper. And then I have to change the idea to make it impact more impact if somebody's getting hit or if there's a foreshortening in there and I don't feel like it's right. So that's when I have to really take the time to like, okay, if this is right, but the layouts is giving me the idea that I need, and that's all the information I put out there. Actually, for a time it was on Amazon. It um it was only about a year, but the problem was, and I was telling my mentor like there's a big error in the book because one of the pages ended up repeating, and I was asking him if in his file what does he have in his file, like how you would number your pages, and one of the pages was numbered incorrectly. I'm like, nah, that's why I'm like, nah, that's in the other chapter. It was like chapter 3 was mixed in with chapter 2, and I was like, hey, that's kind of wrong right there. But after a while, I was like looking at all my past stuff, and you know how you just look at all your old work and you start seeing errors here and there, and that's why I was comfortable with and saying, yeah, just pull it off. Um, I'm going to. I kind of went into a mode like just take everything off, and I'm just gonna make sure to correct whatever's there. And that's when I was comfortable with putting it on webtoon. So everything that you're looking at now, I fixed all the errors that I felt that was a major issue. Um, I redrew. I said I redrew like one of the scenes in the first book when he encounters his dad in the dream sequence. I kind of changed something around from the original because if I felt that it was like weak at the time, and at that time when I put it out, it wasn't as gray toned as it is now. And oh yeah, my Battle Blood book is mostly just grays. It's not colored. It's just grays. And when I first put it out there, I only have just the ink and some cool gray marks on there. But now I totally toned it up. Oh, because at that time, I was working with another gentleman, and he also did another book. I also put on webtoons at the time, Nero Chaos. He he did the gray tones in that book, and I was paying him to do that because at the time I was in between like exams and stuff, and there's like no way I could do it, so I like paid him to do it. And yeah, he has some really rich lines. Not lines, but tones and color tones, because he mainly works with my brother on his comic. So it's totally cool. But at that time, I should know his name by now. I'm such a shame. But I will get his name in a moment. But at that time, I was like, because I was in between jobs and school, and then of course I'm an adult. I have bills to pay, so I had to like, hey, I went to school, I learned my skills, I'm a graphic artist. Yeah, I need to use what is taught to me so I can make life a little easier for me. So that's when I decided to start gray toning my own book. I was already doing it, but not in the way that he was, because I had done some newer pages that I'm working on. Well, I'm in between now, and that's going to be on the new issue 7. And my skills in coloring, well, gray toning, not coloring. Well, coloring's next. Coloring's definitely next, but um, it has jumped up, and I'm very proud of it now. Yeah. Oh, because yeah, he definitely stick to his inks, and he would use like some lighter tones on his work. He wouldn't use that much, and that's how fast. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. It really does. Mhm. Oh yeah. But I guess because now, based on what, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but I guess people would love to see color work and along with that nice artwork on the side. Um, like it just creates a good harmony, I believe, or it just looks more rich. So yeah, because mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was looking at some of the like the earlier Dragon Ball Z works in the Saiyan Saga, and they had did all color. I was like, wow, it popped. Oh yeah, yeah. Akira Toriyama. I've been looking at all of his stuff, and it's strange because the anime comes out, you stick to the anime, but then when you look at the manga, it's like, okay, I've been missing something else here. All it's very strong. Mm. Oh, Space Patrolman Jock. Yeah, Jocko. Yeah. Oh, the guy who had colored my sixth book. His name is Ernest Josco. Joskin. Josson. Ooh, well, Ernest Jockson. Yeah. Well, he was very fair. At that time, he was charging me about like $10 a page, which was actually cool. Yeah. Then he kind of went up a bit with $15 a page, and at that time, I'm like, ooh, my monthly budget wasn't adding up because I have so much to take care of. So I'm like, hey, I can't. Once I added all that up, and I have like 20. I do like 24 pages. Others would say like, oh, you could pay that, but it's mainly my issues I got had going on at the time, and I'm like, yeah, I can't pay it, so I have to learn. So you gotta learn to do your stuff, so it helps. But if there is someone, and I'm saying it's actually less stressful to work with someone. It's less stressful to work with someone because they got your back. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, hey, if I down the line in the future I keep this going, oh yeah, I'm very open to work with anybody. I'm like, hey, this is this is what I'm a team player, but due to the fact that I had some difficulties going on, I have to strap on my boots and be like, hey, I got this. I gotta keep this train going. So that's why I decided to start coloring my own book. But it's so fun though. It's so fun though. I got so used to it now. Oh yeah, I used to hate it. Now I love it because I started getting my like my tablet now, and I'm coloring on a tablet. Pretty soon I'll start doing one of those big screen tablets that you could just have your pen is right in front of you. You just color it like that. Yeah, oh yes, I'm saving up. I'm definitely saving up. That's pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do. Luckily for me, my brother Raymond, he has a 11 by 17 inch scanner. So yeah, he I go downstairs because he stays on the lower floor of my in our family home, and I just scan the pages, and sometimes like if my pencils are like really good, I'll just scan it in, or I would print out on a smaller uh like a smaller sheet, like 11 by like 8.5 by 11, and I'll just ink it. But I don't know, I love to ink my pages while it's just right on the board. I don't know, it's different ways to do that, because either you could just have a light table and you can trace your image in ink on that, or you can just scan it down and do it, or you can just do it originally right on the board. But I like to do it originally on the board. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, but don't forget you can also use like white ink too. So if you make like a really big error or something, that you can go over that. Oh yeah, that's all. Patience. But yeah, but all my tools I use, I could just use like any tech pencil or just pencil period. But if I want to do like a lighter pencil tone, I would use like a 4H or a 3H. Mm-hmm. All right. Right. Yeah, it's yeah, the 4H is just very light. Just it to me it just lightly lay out stuff, but in place of that, sometimes I like to use my non-photo blue pencil, and I'll just lay that out too. Right. Yeah, I had purchased like 20 of those pencils on online on UTrack. Yeah, I just order those and have it with me since I because I don't use it too much, only if I'm probably laying out on a panel and I just want to quickly get some stuff out there, but I don't want the pencil lines to be on there yet. Or I would just if I'm just doing like some pinup work, lay it out and then do inks over it. Um, for like, okay, well, for manga, hmm, other than Dragon Ball, it was mainly because I wasn't into a lot of Japanese manga at the time, other than Dragon Ball because it was on TV and hey, it's Dragon Ball, why not? But I started to get into American. It's like it's manga, but it's American made, and well, I wouldn't say American made because they were they were yeah, it was they were mostly stationed in Toronto. It was a studio called um ooh on the tip of my tongue, Udon Comics. Yes, Udon. Yeah, I've I've met Alvin Lee a bunch of times when I was at either C2E2 or it could have been Wizard World, but mostly at C2E2. I met him, and I had spoke with Alvin Lee because I showed him my work, and he gave me like a He gave me that look like okay. It's like yeah, he just nodded. It's like okay. So my last time seeing him wasn't at last year's C2E2, but I think it was in 2016. He I had a question for him because I was very eager to start my comic, and he just like, dude, just put it out there. Like really? Like yeah, just put it out there and see what happens. Like because he had looked and said like, okay, you have about 5 issues of your book. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, like yeah, just do it, man. Put it out there, see what happens. You gotta know your work. I was like, okay. Yeah, I had a lot of time on my hands. Uh, it's, inner pain, inner pain. But yeah, he just said put it out there, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, Udon Comics, I had a lot of their books, and I was in love with Street Fighter and the art style that they were doing, and I was like, okay, I gotta get with it. Um, and when I started doing like Battle Blood, at that time when I did like my issue 1, at it was like Tokyo Pop at that time was like very hot, and I went to Wizard World and they had a table and they were doing portfolio reviews. Lady, she pretty much chopped me to pieces. Yeah, she's like, yeah, you don't do you don't do shading with your pencils. You don't do this with that. And it was a lot of stuff I was doing wrong and how I was laying out my panels. And I I could have cried about it, but then again, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to you next year, and I'm gonna have a book ready, and I'll be ready to show you that I can improve. I said to Sue, I'm like, I'm coming back, and she just gave me that nod, like, I'll be waiting here for you. The next thing you know, Tokyo Pop was out of business. I'm like, why? Yeah, yeah. I was like, no, I wanted to show you. Yeah, I never get sensitive about if somebody saw something wrong in my book. Hey, tell me, let me know. I could definitely get stronger in it and improve in it. I look forward to that because hey, that advice would give me the next jump. Because even I know now, like, if I what my weak areas are in. Sometimes it might be hands, sometimes it might be feet. Then I take a sketchbook and try to correct my hands, all of that stuff. Hmm. Right. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I had a deviant art. I don't know if it's still floating around. I didn't do that much on it. If I have to, I probably might have more time to make another one. Oh yes, yeah, yeah, it is. Mm. When I went to the most recent C2E2 and I had a portfolio review with the guys there, and they pretty much when they saw Battle Blood, it's like this is cool, but I could tell this is your baby, so like yeah, they just kind of gave me that nod, like. But when they saw, which was strange, when they saw like Nero Chaos, they fell in love with that. I'm like, cool. I was pretty happy about that. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, yeah. When you upload this, please break up the panels, do that. I'm like, okay, like I'll totally do that. Oh yeah. Yeah, when I did Nero Chaos, the first thing that came to mind is like I need to do something very different. For once, I wanted a female lead, and not just any female lead. I wanted a black female lead in that book, and then a second hero, my swordsman, come in there, and the story that I set for that. My inspiration to making Nero Chaos. I was watching around that time. I was watching Final Fantasy Advent Children, and then there were some other influences, like other movies, like Terminator, or pretty much anything that had to do with end of the world type stuff. And I just kind of sat down and was like, okay, make your hero like you do in a video game. Make your hero. and come up with some sketches. But I really wanted a female lead, so that's why I went with Vanessa. And yeah, it's just it pops in my head sometimes, like, or it could be it could come from a show or something. And I was like, Vanessa, that sounds like a strong name. But what's so weird? When I had did Battle Blood and I came up with Len's name, and I was worried because, well, he is Japanese. So, um, it's like, man, does that? I know in Japanese they have to have meanings to their names, but when I was looking up his name, and cause um, it wasn't in a Japanese meaning, but it was just uh, I say I forgot what origin it was, but I'm gonna move on. It was like as strong as a lion. I was like, oh shit, okay. Oh, I'm sorry if I curse on here. Oh yeah, my bad. Anybody who's listening, that's just the natural me that's coming out. I'm getting very comfortable. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It was just as strong as a lion, and I'm like, okay, this is something. This definitely sounds like him. And it was a. Sometimes I unconsciously do things, and it might make sense until I find out that it doesn't. Then I have to change something up. Right. Man, you can come up with a cold anime character named Bob. You'll be okay. Oh yeah. At first I thought Beerus was actually named Bills, but I'm like, oh, we all thought that. I, I like beer. Boys like beer. Girls like beer. We all like beer. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Um. But yeah. But popping back to Nero Chaos. Yeah, that's a totally different feel, like you said. And I was just going for a more serious tone. And while I was laying out some names, I'm like, okay, hot chicks with guns, giant robots, godlike beings causing destruction. Okay, I can go with that. Yeah, and yeah, at this moment, like issue two of that is already drawn out. I just have to do my gray toning and stuff. But I haven't even got around to it because Battle Blood. I've been even right now. I'm in between um doing issue 7, gray toning issue 7, and I'm doing a prequel. For, yeah, and the reason why I'm doing a prequel is because right now I'm at my senior portfolio at school, and my teacher asked me like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, I want to present myself as an illustrator because this is basically who I am. This is what I love to do." And I want to do like an 8-page prequel for my comic. And he's like, okay, go ahead. It's like, okay, go ahead, because it's like, hey, ever since I've been in school, you guys want me to do what, you know, let's put it this way: when you're in our school, you can't do what you want to do. You gotta do what the teachers assign you to do. And this is like the first time my teacher gave me free reign. I'm like, okay, I want to do my comic. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I told him, like, there won't be any text. I just want to draw it, ink it, and if I have more time, I would take it to the computer and color it. And I said I want to do actual colors, not gray tones. This will be like a newer thing that I want to do. And pretty much the prequel is just about Len when he is like 9 years old and his dad is training him. Yeah, 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 definitely. And I'm introducing his mother in there because I only one of my female readers, they's like, you only showed his mom in issue 2 and like a memory, like they want to know more about her. And I was like, oh, okay, this, hey, actually, yes, yeah, it does. So I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna clear this up. Um he didn't indirectly kill her. He's the causing of it. He's the causing of her death. And pretty much Lynn is pissed off because his last thing he did say to his dad is like, help me save her," and he didn't, help. Kind of left. And that could even hurt as much as, murder. So mm, it's a lot going on with that. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, of course. Yeah, I definitely. That's why I say I always keep an open ear. I listen out, but it's one thing that I kind of ran into, and partly because I'm an African American guy. You know, one of the guys I had bumped into at a convention, and I was just, I wasn't there to sell books or anything. I was just, being a spectator. Um, he knew me. He from my Facebook, and at the time I wasn't using YouTube, but he knew me from my Facebook and through my mentor, and he was like, "Yeah, I like your book, but you know what? I want you to transform all your characters black." I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you don't do any black characters. I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. You haven't paid attention. I have right in my comic right now. I have two black characters, and one of them is in the tournament. He fought against Lin's rival Baki, um, in issue 4, and he's been in there since then. So he's always in the panels, but he's gonna be like more involved. And I have another guy that hasn't fought yet, but he's a villain, and I designed him to look somewhat like the Juggernaut. But other people would say Potaken from Guilty Gear, but he's a villain. He hasn't fought yet, but he will in future issues, and it's gonna be awesome. And yeah, that's also correct. That's also right. Um, it's just that, well, with this, I'm gonna get around to that because that's why I kind of made my Nero Chaos in a way. But it's not like I can't introduce that into Battle Blood because hey, you never know. I might come up with this badass villain character who you could relate to. Never know in the future because I plan on doing this further on. I love it. Um, yeah, and I talked to him. I'm like, hey, I see things in all around the rainbow. You know what I mean? I look in the world that I'm living now, and if I say like, okay, yeah, how many black friends I have? I'm like, well, I have a lot of black friends. How many Asian friends you have? I'm like, well, I have two. And he's like, how many white friends you have? I'm like, oh, I have a teacher who's white. but I have interactions with all walks of life, and that's just the way I like it. But when I did this book, it was just I. This is what I love. This is a story that popped in my head, and this is like something that is gonna. I feel that will elevate me even more, because I'll be open to big adventures. Yes, my main character is of Asian descent, but what I'm introducing in the story will be somewhat different characters from different races, all of that. Because hey, if you looked at Cowboy Bebop, you've seen how the biggest multitude of races in uh that series. Right. Yeah. And that's kind of like what I want to bring into my own fighter comic type book. And hey, I just want to have fun doing this. And when I do get serious about everything of my culture, I'm going to introduce it. And this is a different way that I will do that through my comics, through my book, both Nero Chaos, Boat, and Battle Blood. That's what I look forward to. Man, I would love that. That would be like my ultimate wish. I'm like, okay, I can die happy now. Yeah, man, I tell you right now. And this is like a holler out to like all the guys from um Team Z2. Um, when I saw like sprite characters being developed and all that, I immediately fell in love. And I'm like, dude, imagine my character done like that and the moves, and I'm like, dude, I want this. This would be like the ultimate, because when it came down to games like X-Men versus Street Fighter, or X-Men Children of the Atom, like I still have all those games hard copy for my PlayStation. And man, and when I saw like Hyper Dragon Ball Z, I just lost my man, I just fell in love. I fell in love, like, man, I this, and to see like my characters done that way, like I said, I could die happy. Because that's like my ultimate dream right there. Right. I look forward to it. I definitely do. Mm. Oh yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, I started my Patreon. Right now I only just have two supporters, but like it feels good. Just even if it's just a little, if it just feels good to know that somebody wants to support your work, support what you do. It's like they just really care. And I was like, hey, that's awesome. And I would continue doing it no matter what. Oh yeah. Um Len, I have to say he's a little bit of me. Yeah, he's just when I was developing the character, I had at first because I developed Len and then I developed Baki because Baki I can tell you like his personality, he has like a Naruto-ish personality type thing going on. And yeah, he's like a fiery temper type guy and kind of loud and jokes around sometimes. When I developed Len, uh, there was no means trying to, bounce off of Sasuke. No. um, it's like, nah, even though Sasuke is cool, but I don't want no Sasuke. Len's the type of guy like, hey, he's got something serious going on in his life. He's not gonna, but he's not gonna like just obsess over it. He's more laid back, but when that situation comes up, he's like, okay, look, I'm gonna need y'all to like step to the side. Look, I know you want to fight me. I know you my rival and all that, but I just need you to chill. I gotta handle my business. That's the type of guy he is. He knows what he has to do, and whether he fails or not, he just has to get up and do it again, or get better, or get stronger. So it's like a mixture of he's laid back, he's just cool with it, and he also cares about his friends. He doesn't, you know, want his friends to be like feel like that he abandoned them or something. He just like, look, I got some stuff to handle. Let me do me. Y'all just over there. Just sit down. That's how he is. Um, yeah, I'll get to you later. And another thing, I want to give Len like an urban look. When I first drew him, he had like a hoodie, um, like an orange hoodie. But I decided I wanted to change it up, um, in between like issue 4, and just gave him like just a basic shirt. But I wanted him to have like that baggy pants type thing, baggy pants kind of feel going with him. Nothing of the sort with tight jeans, please no. Yeah, I just want a more urban feel since he now lives with his uncle in Japan. Oh, uh, okay. Which now, if you're gonna say Street Fighter, um, hmm, I always end up picking Ken. I'll pick Ryu as well, but I always pick Ken. But if this is like Street Fighter 3, I would fool around with Shun. Yeah. Until they screwed him up. Yes. That was very original. They should never got rid of that move. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, if this is like a King of Fighters, oof, that's a tough one. Now I'm gonna do this in teams. K and K Dash, Iori Yagami, Terry Bogard. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this story though. The first time I was introduced to King of Fighters is when my friend had a Dreamcast, and he had King of Fighters Evolution. That was King of Fighters 99 at the time, but it was called Evolution for that version, and that was the best 99 version I've seen. I don't know why they don't re-release that type of version, but oh well, I don't know. Um, that was the best one, and I loved playing it. It opened me up to SNK, and that's when I started backtracking to Fatal Fury. I started playing Fatal Fury 1, 2, Special, then it was 3, then the Real Bout series. I collect I collect all that on my PlayStation 2. Even now, I still have PlayStation 2 with all of those. I collect the whole thing. Oh, dude, yes, I remember that. Oh yeah. Oof. I had some horror playing it on the um Genesis. I had played um Super Street Fighter 2 on the Genesis, and it was I had some good moments and I had some bad moments, but I enjoyed it because I had the Genesis and I was introduced to DJ, Cammy, Fei Long. Fei Long was my number one in Street Fighter 2 back in the day. I would not stop playing Fei Long. And for some it that's when I just love Street Fighter. But I didn't. My next thing was playing Street Fighter 3 Double Impact on the Dreamcast, and this is only because my friend let me see his Dreamcast for like one whole month. I was playing Shim. Yeah, he totally is. I still, me and him still buddies. Long high school friend now. Um, I played Shimu, King of Fighters, um, Shimu, King of Fighters, Sonic Adventure. That was my Dreamcast moment, but I'd never owned a Dreamcast. I just played on his and had the memory with me for that month. Oh, nice. Sweet. Sweet. Oh, okay, yeah. Now everything's Redbox. You just walk up, you just walk up to Redbox. It's like there's no Blockbuster, there's no Hollywood Video. Maybe there is a Hollywood Video still, but I doubt it. Yeah, yeah. Um, mm. For some reason, Blockbuster Video was just so nostalgic with all the games that you could get from there. I had rented Streets of Rage 2. I rented Streets of Rage 2 from there, and um I guess somebody didn't return it. Not me, I was a kid. Yeah, and it just stayed with us. I'm like, yeah, not my fault. Man, now all of a sudden we know, like, oh, wait a minute, we could play with Cody and Hagar too, not just Guy. What? You jerks! How dare you? Yeah, I never knew why they made it just two players, knowing that you only had three characters to play with. That was kind of weird. Mm-mm. Not even on the Capcom beat 'em up classics. I think I brought it. Still, you gotta play with just two characters. Scratch my head. Hey, well, you got Streets of Rage coming back out, so there you go. Man, that is the superior game. to It's strange because when I first played Street Fighter Alpha, I wasn't even aware of Final Fight until much later. That's like, oh, wait a second. Those guys came from Final Fight. They don't look like that. Okay, well, maybe they do. Why is he? Why is he in the jailing outfit? Oh wait, I never knew the story. Now, I'm gonna say this. That's the one thing that irked me about some fighting games. Like, the story drew me in, but I never knew the true story behind Ryu. I just knew that, okay, he traveled the world. He wants to become the number one Street Fighter. Then when Alpha came in, that's when the stories start rolling in, and now we know about the Sassuino Hado, Akuma, um, his struggle against the Sassuino Hado. I'm like, okay. And then all the anime movies came out, and I'm just gonna say this: the only true good anime movie that came out was Street Fighter 2, the anime movie. Street Fighter Alpha Yame movie to me it had a good layout and look, but when they introduced that android character, I was like, okay, who are you? Are you supposed to be Hugo or something? Oh wait, no, you're not Hugo. Then what are you? It just took the story, like, I don't know, it mixed everything up. And then they took the one character we all want to see Ryu fight was Akuma. And he was just this, yeah, just a cameo. It's like, wait a minute, we want to see this fight, and then tease us at the very end why he's facing down Akuma. I'm like, no, 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 no. Then they came and gave us Street Fighter Generations, and I'm like, okay. They gave us a fight of Akuma, but yeah, yeah, man. I'm like, come on, dude. What is this? When I'm doing my stories, I want to make sure I'm giving a good, straight out fight. Whenever Len meets his dad, that's gonna be a good fight. It's not gonna be some wham bam, thank you, ma'am stuff. No, I want to make sure it's like good. Cause all, oh hell yeah, yeah, I can, yeah. Oh, you talking about Fatal Fury? Oh, oh my bad. I thought you said Kim, not Ken. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then when they showed the doctor, he was all juiced up. He's acting all crazy and shit and flipping everywhere and I don't know. Basically. But little do they know, in the actual story of Street Fighter, Ken did defeat Ryu. Yep. Then he gets. Oh yeah, me too. Mm. Oh wow, you did an awesome job. Cool. Oh yeah, awesome, man. I look forward to it, and I would. Yeah, this could definitely be a really cool book cover. You did great, man. Hey, it works. It works. Oh, oh yeah. The best thing I've seen ever. But you know what? I'm gonna say this. This is towards live action. Street Fighter Assassin's Fist is definitely where it's at for live action, and I love these guys for what they did. I didn't like them for Street Fighter Resurrection though. I don't know what that was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, they said they are gonna do a Street Fighter, um, yeah, Street World Warrior. Yeah, so I would, it's looking forward to it. Oh yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that one, how they did Akuma, beautiful, just beautiful. And that was Joey Ansa, right? Oh yeah, he's great guy. Great look for Akuma too. Right. Yeah, I would agree. No, no, no. Actually, you are because when I look at movies like Ip Man and then I look at that, whew, yes. If they can get to that level, then they have achieved what they needed for Street Fighter. Yes. Yeah. I thought it was the only. Yeah. I thought I was the only one who noticed that. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Pose dummies there. Need to get one. Hey, cheaper is better. Well, sometimes, but yeah. Well, the only things I have right now is my Battle Blood on webtoons, Nero Chaos on webtoons, and this my YouTube channel, LenryDood84. Check me out. I have some. I've done some work on there. One of my pages that I done for Battle Blood. I showed my gray tone process in 3 parts. Check that out. And I recently did a uh Undertale Sans quick sketch video. Yep. And I have other stuff on there, and I also do some Hyper Dragon Ball Z videos too, showing some. Oh no, I'm not. I I need to learn how to sprite. The moment I learn how to sprite and I get at your level, oh yeah, uh, it, it's all or nothing. Hey, oh, one question though. When you do your sprites, what do you have a certain size that you set your sprite pages on or sheet? Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay. I had noticed that. I saw an older video up on your page. I'm like, did he finish that? Hmm. I'm going to download. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, cool. Look forward to that. Future will be game. Hopefully, future game. But yes, thank you for having me on here. All right.